Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's your boy Adrian. Thanks for being here. This is video number 1, episode 1, where I transformed this ordinary Honda Pilot into the best machine ever. No, I'm just kidding. But basically, I want to transform this Honda Pilot into the not so ordinary dad mobile, but a little more exciting. So in this episode, we're going to be installing an AEM intake just to give it a little more power, a little more sound, a little more throatiness to it, just to make that regular boring drive into something more fun. Hope you're into stuff like this, because I am. You're in for a treat. Let's go at it. Here are some of the tools that you're going to need for this install. First off is a 3/8 socketing wrench, a 10mm socket, and a 5.5mm socket, a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, needle nose pliers. Some optional things I like to add on the list is a flashlight, warm soap, and water, which later on you'll see on the video why. And just a reminder, make sure your car is cool to the touch before starting. We don't want any burn accidents, and make sure you're working in a well-ventilated place.
Damn.
It's paper.
And more paper.
More paper. AEM sticker, carb legal sticker, which is very important, especially if you're here in California. Without the sticker, you won't be able to pass smog emissions. So shout out to AEM for making this legal. And instructions, but we don't really need that. Kind of already know what to do. So we just usually just play it by ear, take things apart, put things back together. Looks like it comes with one big heat shield. Let's see here, coupler, couple clamps, zip ties, vacuum hose. Yeah. And then the main part. Oh yeah. Shout out to AEM for this license plate frame. I'm not gonna use it, but thank you.
And is that AEM's own, or did they borrow that from somebody else, like a K&N or something?
I think it's AEM branded, but we'll find out when we open it if there's like a trademark somewhere, but I don't see it. So I think it's their own intake that they use. And once we removed all the plastic lining on the engine bay, it gives us better access to the battery. And right here is where you see the negative terminal. It's held on by a 10mm socket to remove the negative. Disconnecting the negative terminal does two things. It keeps your work safer by preventing a blown fuse by accident, and it also resets the ECU, which we need to do when installing the new intake. The next thing we're going to do is disconnect the mass airflow sensor. We're going to unclip the harness from the sensor itself, and we're going to keep it and swap it over to the new intake later on. Next, you want to open up the stock airbox. They are held down by 3 clips. 1, 2, 3. This is the stock filter, and then this is the new one that we're putting on by AEM. Big difference. More airflow, less airflow. Next, you're going to use a 5.5mm socket to loosen the clamps holding the stock airbox. Next, we're going to remove the stock tubing from the throttle body using the same 5.5mm socket we used to take out the airbox. Next, you want to remove the vent tube by releasing the pressure on the spring clamp while pulling the vent tube down. If you want to make your job easier, make sure you're wearing gloves before pressing down on the spring clamp. If not, use needle nose pliers. Once we have removed the stock tubing, it gives us better access to the 2 10mm bolts holding the bottom of the airbox in place. One right here, and there's another one down here. It's really helpful to have an extension on your wrench so you can reach it. Once you break it loose, you just turn it by hand. I think it should be almost free. Once we have removed the two 10mm bolts, we want to unclip these 3 wire harnesses from the airbox by pressing down on each latch and sliding them from the clips.
So trick, it's going to be in like that. You want to push up and then slide out. So all the viewers out there, what you need to do is reach, and then you're going to push up on that little tab, and then push down. Okay. And then that will release it from there. Clips for days. Honda really knows how to clip things in pretty well. Got all this free space now. Alright, so this is going to be the heat shield. Correct way to position this. I know when you get out of the box, it's like, you know, it could go anywhere. It's going to be like this, like that. Your key point here is this curvature here is going to face in the front of the car. It's going to basically sit on top of the battery like that. Main hole is going to be facing that way to the throttle body. And then big giveaway here is this curvature right here. You see that right there? You're gonna match it with this right here in the inner well. It's gonna go like that. Line up the holes where you're gonna mount it in. Right there. And then down below. Right there. There we go. It's gonna sit just like that.
Before we lock down the heat shield in place, we want to apply some rubber grommet that came with the package. We're going to need 3 different size lengths, a 20-inch and a 14-inch and a 36-inch. Before you cut the rubber grommet, make sure you have something sharp enough to cut it because there is metal trimming inside. In my case, I use gardening shears. Cut any excess grommet to fit the heat shield properly. Next, you want to install the supplied rubber isolator onto the airbox behind the battery.
AEM supplies this rubber grommet, so push it in like that.
Next, place a rubber washer that was supplied by AEM between the heat shield and mounting location at the inner fender.
So why exactly are we changing all this?
More power!
What the
Power!
heck? Wow.
No,
wow.
I don't know. I just wanted to add a little performance to the daily of the SUV, turning the ordinary quiet car into something a little more torquey, a little more sound. You know, I'm not planning to like gain some big numbers on here, but I just wanted to have some sound to it and hopefully increase some gas mileage. They say that this helps with gas mileage.
Oh. So is this something I should do in my car?
Definitely recommend it.
What? All right, can you do it for me?
Sure.
Oh, yes!
You buy it and I'll install
All right,
it.
how much is it?
I think these are starting at like $300.
Oh, wow. Okay, maybe that's not a priority, but if you highly recommend it, it's gonna be on my list somewhere.
All right, I'm down.
Is this something anybody could do at home?
Anybody could do this at home. It's simple. I mean, there's tons of videos out there, tutorials, and then like I said, AEM, they even give picture detailed instructions to go with it. So anybody who has a tool set at home or tool savvy, this is the job for you.
Next, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver to install the MAF sensor into the AEM intake tubing.
Just basically slide it on over. There we go. And then just Land it on top and then tighten it down.
Next, you want to use the hose supplied by AEM and install it into the vent tube. Here is where warm, soapy water may help with installation. I personally didn't need it.
So this is the thinner part, which is gonna connect to the throttle body, and then the bigger diameter part is gonna connect to the intake tubing. Getting the clamp ready to put it onto the intake filter, and then we're gonna install it on the tube. See if it's wide enough to fit. Little tricks here and there. You gotta just support the intake like this with one hand and then just tighten it down.
Now that the intake is in place, you want to go back and make sure everything is tightened down.
It's on there, pretty good. Can't really slide it out. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Basically clips right back in. Hear a little click and you're good to go. Well, once you got all that clamps tightened down, the MAF sensor clip back on, zip tied the 3 wires under together. We're almost done here. We just gotta basically put the battery back. Don't be afraid of the little spark there. It's all right. It's okay. Especially if you're wearing gloves. That's why it's important to wear gloves. Let's go ahead and tighten down the terminal. Yeah, we're good.
Now that we have the intake tightened down, we want to reinstall the cold air duct and plastic pop-outs we removed earlier.
Or just pop it in. I'll just pop it in. Like so. This back on. That grommet is for that we placed earlier. It's going to basically sit right on top of that. Push that back in. Push that back in. See? There we go.
Now that we have everything tightened down, we're going to let the car run for 10 minutes and let the ECU relearn itself with the new intake. Then we're going to take it out for a spin and see what this baby's got.
We're just in normal driving mode. We're not in sport mode yet. It's really putting a smile on my face. Like this is like taking me back to like early college years, late high school, and just putting a simple intake on the Honda Civic or Honda Accord would make us happy. It's like taking me back. That's why. If that's what you miss, this is the intake for you. If you have a Honda Pilot, Honda Ridgeline, Honda Passport, they're all the same application.
Hi there, welcome to Starbucks. What can I get for you?
Hi, can I get one grande pumpkin cream cold brew with almond milk?
Grande pumpkin cream cold brew, and then we want the almond milk in the coffee, correct? Not as the foam?
Yep. Yes, in the coffee.
Okay, anything else?
And then one grande regular cold brew, just by itself. No thanks.
Your
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
You too. Oh my gosh. AEM, man. Hands down. I don't know if you can tell with my voice, but I'm like a little nervous right now because I didn't think this car had the potential to make that much sound. Did you? Not me. My gosh.
Okay, when you explained that there'd be a sound, I never expected it to sound like that.
See what I mean? Like when you're in the low RPMs, it just feels like stock. You don't feel like there's like any hidden power under there. But when you step on it, my gosh, the power just releases from this car. Like definitely. Within a couple seconds, I look down, I'm already past 80. Shouldn't even say that, but
Yeah. Oh my god! Wow. Oh my god. Holy shit! I feel like it definitely like lets everybody know where you're at.
yeah. I did not think this car like would put out so much like noise for that VTEC crossover that you guys hear. That I'm not sure. I mean, it does definitely feel more torquey. You can feel it pick up right away with the throttle response. But as far as like horsepower gain, I don't know. Like, but you can definitely feel more power because of that sound. I don't know. Can you?
And I don't know if I would, like I said, actually race or drive like that in a car, but I definitely come tag along with you.
So we completed the install of the AEM intake. You guys saw the step-by-step instructions. You heard the sounds. You heard me rev it up a little bit and gas to the pedal, or pedal to the metal, I guess you might say. But yeah, so you guys might be wondering if it's something for you to do on your own or for you to take it somewhere to get it done. In my opinion, I would try to do it on your own. We all got to start somewhere. I didn't know how to do all this at one point. You just got to build that confidence. If you have the simple tools to do it, go for it. Like I said before, AEM does include instructions with the intake. I even had to look back at it. Doing this for years, I still had to like figure out what to do, what to cut, what trims to put on. Don't be afraid, if you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. You guys will get through it. I'm here to help out. Like I said, it's not just the Pilot, it's also the Ridgeline and other applications as well. But yeah, don't be afraid. It's something exciting, and when you do it yourself, you feel more accomplished doing it. So give it a shot. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is not the only car content you're going to see. It's going to be much, much more. So if you did enjoy it, please comment and let me know what you want to see. It's not just going to be the Honda Pilot. Remember, life is too short to say one day. So get out there and do what you love. Until next time, peace.